First and foremost, whenever a student applies, the visa that they go on to the US is the student visa. That is that is France, F-1 visa. And this visa is valid for 5 years. Okay. Generally, your course of study is for 2 to 2.5 or even 3 years, depending on how you complete your thesis or your courses or your projects. But yeah, generally your course will be done on an average in 2 to 2.5 years, but the visa is for 5 years. Because what happens is, after you're done with your education, you have an opportunity to work in the US for a year on OPT, that is optional practical training, for a year if you go for a non-STEM course. Now what is STEM? STEM is basically science, technology, engineering and mathematics. So if your course is defined under this, then you go for a STEM course. If your course is not defined under this, then it's a non-STEM course. On a non-STEM course, your stay-back option after your education is 1 year. For a STEM course, your stay-back option after your education is for 3 years. So that is the reason why basically when the student visa is issued, mostly it is issued for 5 years. Yes, it is dependent on the visa officer. Sometimes they do tend to issue the student visa for 2 or 3 or even 4 years depending on conditions. But on an average, generally it's for 5 years. Okay, so 2 years of education followed by 3 years of OPT if you're on STEM and 1 year of OPT if you're on non-STEM. Now when you're, and in this period, okay, I missed out on a point, in this period, you are allowed to stay unemployed for a period of 90 days as per rule. The 90 days can be in a break or in one go, it's okay. So basically 90 days means 3 months. So after you're done with the masters, basically you have a period of 3 months to find a job. And once you get a job, you go on your OPT wherein you're working in any company. Now that company basically will be filing for your work visa out there, which is known as an H1b visa. Okay, now the work visa which is filed by the company is valid for 3 years and it is renewable once. So basically the work visa that you go for, the H1b visa that we are talking about, it's valid for total of 6 years. Okay, so basically you are studying there for 2 years, followed by that you have an OPT of 1 to 3 years, and followed by that you have your H1b visa for up to 6 years. Okay, so basically once you go to the US, you study there, you work there, around 8 to 10 years period you have to, you have with you to be there, study and work both actually. Okay, and when you talk about the H1b visa, the minimum salary that you need to be drawing to be allowed for H1b visa is $60,000 per annum. And mostly Indian students after their graduation, they do draw a salary of 60,000 or more. In fact, we have had some of our students in the past, in the very recent past, who have drawn a salary from $85,000 to a couple of students who have even drawn 150. That's $150,000 per annum. So because of this, the H1B for them becomes kind of easier. Okay. Now the thing is that the H1B visa currently is on a lottery-based system, wherein in a year 85,000 people can be selected on H1B visa. Okay, of this there are 20,000 reserved for master students. Now in this what happens is the master students who have pursued their masters in the US, their name will come in the lottery of first 20,000. If the name doesn't come in that, then it comes back again in the remaining 65,000 as well. So basically in the same attempt they get 2 chances. From what we understand, from what we read through different sources, especially through the White House source, from what we read, what we understand, we would like to believe that Mr. Donald Trump is trying to make this a merit-based system. From what is now a lottery-based system, this is what we would like to believe, and this is what we have been reading all through, that he would like to make it a merit-based system. From what we understand, they are trying to draw a system, they are trying to make a system in such a manner that this can be worked upon. In this, they are trying to, they're trying to have multiple options. One is maybe the salary cap, they might want to increase the salary cap. Maybe educational qualification, they might want to change the educational qualification for H1B. Anything is possible. The new rules or the new setup has still not come in. Okay, the next round of H1B visa will be filed on the first working day in April. Generally, H1B visas are filed on the first working day in April, ideally on 1st of April, but this year 1st of April being a Sunday, it will be filed on 2nd of April. And in a month to 2 months time, mostly the decisions are out. So if any changes have to happen for the next H1 cycle, they have to happen in the next couple of months. Otherwise, the older system will be applicable, that is the lottery-based system will be applicable for this April's H1B cycle. But again, we would like to believe, and from what we read, we understand that it's going to be a merit-based system. Hopefully, we would see that sooner rather than later, because a merit-based system would ideally help the students who are studying there. Because if they make it a merit-based, or let's take an example that if they would want to make it a point-based system, like if you have a bachelor's level of education in a certain field, you get X amount of points. If you have a master's level of education in the same field, you get X plus something. You have a job in a certain domain, then you get X points. If you have a job in a domain which is skill short, then you might get X plus something points again. Salary wise, above a certain level of salary, you have a certain number of points. Above another level of salary, you have another level of points. This is what we are assuming might happen. Okay, let me be very clear. This is not what we are saying is going to happen or is happening. This is what we are assuming would happen. Reading, understanding, and doing our own R&D on whatever is being said by the President's office right now. Okay, so based on that, let's say if you cross a certain number of points, then you are eligible for H1. Something of this sort might happen. Okay, this is what is mostly on cards. For us, if you ask us, if this does happen, then it's a good thing for the students who are going there. They don't have to worry about anything, because if this does happen, then most of the students who go there, who are genuine meritorious students, they would fit the bill, they would clear the criteria of the points mentioned there, and they would be able to get the H1 through. Now, very recently, there was a proposal which had come in that whoever goes on an H1, or whoever is in the US on the H1 right now, and the green card is filed, but the green card is not processed completely, like it's still in the process. If you complete your 6 years of H1B, you would be asked to go back. You would not be given any more extension. So now the rule is that if you are on H1B and your one renewal is done, that is, you are done with the 6 years of H1B in the US, and your green card is in the process, wherein the stage 1 of the green card is completed and the main stage is still left. Even if with the stage 1 of green card being processed, you are allowed to extend your H1B visa multiple times. The proposal was that the multiple time extension would not be allowed, and people would have to go back. And this Monday, on 8th or 9th, actually this Monday, Tuesday is when they announced that they are going to take back this proposal. This proposal is not valid. Okay, so all the speculations, all the fear, all the myths that were laid up across, they have come to a halt all of a sudden, because they actually announced that they would take back this proposal and they would not want to continue with this. Because yes, there are many Indians out there who are working currently, who are helping the other companies out there. They would be affected, even the companies would be affected because of these Indians. Not only Indians, people from China, Korea, etc. as well. If they are sent back, then the companies would also suffer a bit. So that's the reason. That's not the only reason, but yeah, the proposal was taken back by the government, and now no such thing is going to happen wherein they are going to. This proposal is completely stopped. So whatever is happening right now is with regards to only the merit-based system that we are talking about, and if it happens, it's well and good for the Indian students. Otherwise, there's nothing to worry about. And anyways, if any proposal does come in, we have to understand one thing, that the 5 year of F1, the 2 year studies, the 3 years OPT, the 3 years H1B renewable ones, that is 6 years of H1B totally, etc. These rules have not come in just yesterday. These rules have been there since years together now. Come what may, whatever happens, if you take a pure calculation of 2 years of studies, 3 years of OPT, 3 years of first H1 and 3 years of second H1, if you calculate totally, it's 11 years. But if you take it on practical levels, 8 to 10 years at least, you will be able to stay in the US on your study plus education. Through this, what will happen is, you will get a good international degree with you, which is valued all across the globe, not just in India, all across the globe. Yes, there are people who have studied and worked in the US, and today's day they are working in places like Canada, Sweden, Singapore, South Africa, Australia, India, even India as a matter of fact. They are working at different locations and they are doing quite well in their lives. So you get an international degree which is recognized across the globe, which will help you a lot in the future. Secondly, most important thing is whatever you have invested in your education, okay, you would be recovering the entire money back in this period, plus you would have some money in hand as well. So even if you have to leave the country for whatever reason, you are technically not at a loss. Okay, so you would be gaining something from there, and then only you will be coming back. And you would not basically, with the current timelines, even if some rule changes, as I said earlier, 8 to 10 years is what we calculate that you would be in the US. You would be working there as well in this period, so you would be recovering quite a lot of the amount that you have invested. And I would like to try to tell one thing, that even before the elections, when Mr. Donald Trump was interviewed by, I forgot the name of a gentleman who was interviewing him. That time Mr. Donald Trump had very clearly said that I am not against Indian students coming to the US, studying and working. He had cited an example of a gentleman who had to go back to India for some visa issues, and he started his own startup and he has employed n number of people in India. He said if that guy would have been in the US, maybe he would have employed people in the US. There's a video. There's a video on YouTube. If you can just look at it on YouTube, you will get through. It's a video which he had recorded before the elections, wherein the idea he clearly stated was he is not against Indian students studying and working there. And from whatever is happening right now, whatever speculations are coming up, whatever new proposals or new rules or whatever is being proposed right now, what we understand or what we would like to believe is his stand still remains the same, wherein he is not trying to affect the Indian students. So the point is, for all the students out there, simple point is, don't worry about anything. You can go ahead and make your mark, make your career, get a good education out there. It would help you, and whatever education you gain there will be helpful for you, not only there but anywhere across the globe. Nextly, with regards to rumors and everything, there are many websites, media reports, portals, pages, etc., wherein spreading a rumor is not so difficult. Today in the world of social media, spreading any rumor is not at all difficult. Overnight, people change their plans because they heard of something or they read something. Okay, our suggestion to you would be to talk to the experts, or better than that, visit the US government website. There is a USCIS website available, wherein all the latest updates with regards to the immigration rules and visa rules come up on the official website. So rather than believing media reports or social media reports or just posts here and there, we would recommend you to please look into the USCIS website, as this would help you a lot in understanding the true news and true nature of what is happening out there, and gain a proper perspective for you. And come on, we are talking whatever rule changes, we are talking it will affect you maybe 8 to 10 years down the line. It will not affect you tomorrow itself. So there is no harm in getting an international education. No harm at all. In fact, this education, whatever you gain, would help you a lot in the future. Okay, so yeah, I am more or less done. There are comments which are coming in. We would like to reply to all the comments possible at the earliest we can. Kindly post in your comments. We would surely respond to you as soon as possible in the due course of time. And I hope this was an informational video for you. If you have any further doubts, please feel free to contact us on our page or comment us on our page. We have our website mentioned. You can contact us or email us. And yeah,